with relationships, I just have a question about the difference between like allowing something and like setting boundaries. Like
the difference?
Well, like for me, I guess like in relationships, it's hard for me to like, I say, oh, I'm going to allow things to happen, but I think I get confused with like setting boundaries with people and
well, here's the thing. Setting any kind of a boundary is, I know what I don't want. This is a universe that's based upon attraction. There's no exclusion. So when you say yes to something, you're calling it to you. When you say no to something, you're calling it to you. So all of those boundaries, this is one of the most important things to understand about this business of where you stand vibrationally, is that whether you're saying, I want that not, is the same thing as saying, I'm making myself vibrationally available to this thing I do not want. So allowing is allowing. Here's the distinction. Allowing what? Now we just talked about this in the most clear way ever so far. Allowing what? Allowing my vibrational alignment with my vortex, period. That's what you're allowing. So you have to understand that, so like in the carving out of a relationship, as you have something that you don't like, you put into your vortex a vibrational version of what you do like. And over time, once you've had some relationships, you've carved out into your vortex a magnificent version of a relationship just the way you want it to be. In other words, if someone's rude, you put someone nicer there. If someone doesn't understand you, you put someone who does. In other words, you're building this relationship. You are not just building or creating a vibrational manifestation of a relationship. You're creating you. You are the creator of you. You are the creator of you in the relationship. So this relationship exists vibrationally, and when you have the feeling that you need to set some boundaries, that something's gone wrong, that that person is behaving in a way that is inappropriate given the agreement that you have, that feeling is not really telling you that that person is doing something inappropriate. What that feeling is telling you is that you're out of whack with what you said you want, and as long as you're out of whack with what you've got in your vortex, it can't come to you, because what manifests always reflects the mix of your vibration. It's so fantastic when you figure it out, that all you have to do is dream the dream so consistently that it's the easiest thing to dream, and then they gotta behave. You don't have to set boundaries. Boundaries don't stop anyone. Have you ever set a boundary? Has anyone ever said, don't do that? You say, maybe not while you're looking. Maybe not while you're looking, but you're not going to tell me, you're not the boss of me, is sort of the way you come forward. Boundary setting is flawed premise.
Yes. Like, I guess where I get confused though, because I've really like, was staying in my vortex, but this person was still there.
But you see, this is what we were talking about earlier. I want to stay in my vortex, but you. And what's interesting is that person has been a co-creator in a lot that's in your vortex. So that person helped your vortex to expand, caused your creation to expand, and now the very person who helped you to expand is the reason you're not taking the expansion. And that's why you're extra mad at that person, because you can feel that it was all part of the expansion. And now, can't you just behave? Can't you just behave so that I can be in my vortex? And this is what we were saying that Esther is just coming clear about now, is that it's not about setting the boundaries or wrestling it to the ground and killing it, or even getting an agreement and then monitoring to see how well so-and-so is keeping the agreement. It's about all that trouble causing greater clarity, and you figuring out how to line up with the clarity. And what has to happen is your relationship with your vortex has to trump everything, has to be more important than everything. And it's funny, we talk to our physical friends and we say, go there and you'll be happy, and they say, oh, it's a big price to pay for getting everything I want to be happy. But it's even bigger than that. It's even bigger than going there because you feel good. It's, you got to go there because it's who you are, and nothing else is natural. Nothing else is natural. And we think it is a pretty good ulterior motive that when I align with who I really am, that then I'll get to witness manifestations evolving to satisfy what I've been putting there. So let's spell this out even more clearly. So rascals in your life help you create magnificent improvements. They also sometimes keep you from lining up with the very improvements they helped you to create. But you're smarter than that now, and you care about feeling good. So you're ignoring the irrelevant what is and giving your undivided attention to the extremely relevant expansion that is there, and figuring out ways to align with it, and then getting to witness universal forces, the energy that creates worlds, the cooperative components, manifesting piece by piece, blow by blow, detail by detail, little bit by big bit, every single thing that you have been putting into your vortex. It's fun to watch you, because there's stuff in there that you don't even know that's in there, because you forgot. You didn't even realize you put prosperity in there because you were so unhappy about not having enough money. You didn't realize that there's equivalent other side of that vibration. You didn't even realize the wise, loving, involved, interested in you and interested in life person that is in there. And we're not talking about someone you don't know. We're talking about someone that has the potential of showing to you what's in your vortex once you are consistently aligned with what's in your vortex. Have you ever had anyone say, "You bring the best out in me"? That's what they're talking about. Have you ever had anyone say, "Oh man, I feel so much more clear when I'm talking with you than ever before"? Have you ever been on an airplane with someone you've never met, and it feels like they're a long friend, where you are having conversations that are richer and deeper than anything that you've ever experienced before? This is universal alignment, or law of attraction, yielding to you the fullness of who you are. But one who's in the vortex and alignment with who you are is more powerful than millions who are not. So that's what the power of influence is. That's what Jesus and other healers came to know. You stood before him dripping your illness. He saw not your illness. He knew only your expanded, extra expanded wellness that was vibrating and pulsing as a result of what you had currently been living. And as he gave his undivided attention to the wellness that is you, in his complete knowing of it, the illness just could not abide in your vibration. That's what the power of influence is. Don't you just want people around you to be uplifted to your positive level of expectation relative to them? Don't you want to take the bounce every time, every single time you feel like setting a boundary? Take the bounce. Take the bounce. Because when you know what you don't want, you know what you do want. And whether you can articulate it or not, it went into the vortex and became part of the mix. And your inner being is holding the vision, holding the vibration, the larger part of you being it and calling you to it. And all you got to do is want to feel good more than set boundaries. Want to feel good more than point out the error of their ways. Want to feel good more than making a point. Want to feel good more than "I told you so." Want to feel good more than, want to feel good. Want to feel good, why? Want to feel good because you want to align with the fullness that is you, because nothing less than aligning with the fullness that is you will ever satisfy you. Nice to know.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes, indeed.